Alright, what's up everybody? Here we are at last with Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 15, which is called Storm. And that's of course a direct reference to a last episode where it was Virgil who of course had that whole speech about I too once waited for a storm to pass, right? And I think even Arnheid actually mentioned it earlier in that episode already to Einar perhaps, saying like, nah, it's better to let this storm pass, I guess. So it's all very symbolic and it's great. And, you know, that's the big question, right? Like, we've technically dealt with Godar now, although something definitely tells me he's going to be coming back, right? He's going to be coming into play here. The big question being, how? It's so fascinating because, yeah, 2 or 3 episodes now, I was basically waiting for, well, first of all, for Kettle to arrive with his, with his sons, of course, with Leif as well, who is supposed to be taking Thorfinn and then perhaps also Einar with them. Yeah, and for Canute, obviously, to attack the farm, right? Like, this is clearly, I would think, this is still what we're basically waiting for to happen by the end of this season. And then we're going to see what the outcome of it all is. But so it's super interesting to have this completely new element in Gondor actually getting introduced here at this, completely unexpected point. Now, they've managed to take him captive. And so even now, it's like, okay, if that's the case, then what are we really building up to here? I can only imagine that he's going to be perhaps, and this is already what I kind of speculated, actually in the very first tease scene that we got of him back when I still thought that it could have been Einar, but that like he might actually get freed during the attack or something, and that's going to make him sort of a loose cannon and hard to predict like what that's going to mean for, who's going to be going after this and that, right? That's still something I can see happening, but nonetheless, we know that by the end of last episode, Arnheid actually tried to go and visit him, right? And I really wonder what she was planning to do there in the first place. Because I mean, we saw a reveal, of course, already that she's actually having she's expecting a kid now. Their previous kid died, I think, right? We saw, and this is something that actually Gondor might not have been aware of yet. So maybe that's what she's gonna tell him. It seems like she wants to tell him to basically leave her alone, but that's bound to, I guess, not be received in the way that she hopes it will, if you'd ask me. So I don't really know if that's if that would be a smart play on her end. You know, like, this is also where I've been thinking about everything that Svirkle told her and about, like, oh, I too once waited for a storm to pass and everything, and I still don't quite understand what they're actually trying to build up to in that regard, like I said, because, yeah, is it better to just not bother with Gondor whatsoever now and just leave him locked up there, knowing that he's, no doubt, like, he's still gonna be coming into play here? At some point, somehow. The question just is how, and will therefore Arnheid's warning speech or whatever she's about to give to him, will it be of any serve any purpose? I guess, right? What's going to be the next play, and when finally are we going to see Leif, Canute, Kettle? When are we going to see any of them arrive? That's the big question for now, guys. We're going to dive into episode 15 of Vinland Saga. And of course, if you enjoy my reactions to this show, you can already watch, if you're watching these on YouTube, you can watch the next 4 episodes straight away over on my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, we are watching the episodes as they air. So yeah, go and watch the show with me there. And then for now, let's dive into episode 15 of season 2 of Vinland Saga. Here we go. Damn, they've got a noose around his neck. What, are they planning to actually hang him? I think all they said last episode was they were gonna lock him up, right? Honestly, it might have just been, yeah, to keep him tied up, and that's it. Yeah. Asking the question like that, you're just asking to get that answer. What the hell? They just left with him. I mean, hey, she came walking here herself, this guy.
事に合わせてください。誓って逃がそうなんて思っていません。傷の手当てをしてあげたいだけなんです。
Do you though? I think you want to talk to him as well, right? But yeah, that's the advantage that you have as a pretty-looking female over a man. I'm sure he did. Yeah, he's just tied up to there. Man. You gotta love just the silence and the way that they draw out these scenes. Yeah, just showing sort of how she feels. She feels so bad for him. Which is interesting because she was simultaneously kind of blaming him last episode, right? But she's not really a character that would hold a grudge. The fuck kind of stupid comment is that? Man. She's gonna appreciate that. I don't know if she can believe you on that though. Man. Yeah, even more now. Like, she knows that, yeah, that's not the future that she sees anymore. She still just feels conflicted by everything that he's telling her now, though. They don't even fucking care, dude. One man's enough. Yeah, you're also the person that literally made up excuses though and lied about what your master told you. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what she wants to do now though, like... Well, that we figured already. Oh no! What? Dude, is he... He's not loose, is he? Oh, okay, he just... Wow. Bites him in the neck like that. Damn. Like a rabid dog, dude. Oh. Spits out the blood. Yeah, I was genuinely wondering whether that was gonna be lethal. Looks like it's going to be. Oh. Oh, dude. This music so brings me back to season 1. I feel like we haven't heard these sort of horns yet this whole season. Oh, I love that theme, man.
私の名を切れ。早くアルネーゼ。
Yeah, she's put in a tough spot now.
しっかりしろ。早く名を。
Oh man, I find it so hard to try to interpret what's going through her mind at the moment. Everything she's thinking.
アルネーゼ。
I think she's thinking too many things to make any decision whatsoever. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh. Yo, is this the scene?
こいつの件です。先の方を見てください。手負いの上に手負い。ここには馬もなかったはずだ。どうぞ。
Oh, they figured that God or is injured.
必ず農場の中で蹴りをつける。
Oh my god, dude.
つけしない。
What happened to Arnite?
殺す。
You gotta love how he just escapes a second time now. Great. Oh.
おかしいよな。平穏に暮らしてただけなのに。暴力に自由を奪われるなんて間違ってる。
It's a great line.
俺はずっと戦争を
Yeah.
してきた人間だ。
That's all that he did, taking freedom away by violence.
けど間違ってる。なあトルフィン、この間お前が話してたあれ本気なのか？
Oh, about his whole quest.
世の中から戦争と奴隷を
Yeah.
なくすことはできないかって前に言ってただろう。
Of course he was serious.
俺には夢みたいな話に思え
The question just is, like, what's the first step gonna look like, you know?
何かひらめきがあるんじゃないか。
Because you're setting out quite the goal for yourself
どう
here.
すればいい？どうすれば戦争と奴隷をなくすことができる？
Yeah, like, what does he want to do? Travel across the globe and spread the word, or
自分の経験したことしかわからないが、
like an apostate?
戦争が多くの奴隷を生むのは間違いない。戦に敗れた者たちから奴隷が生まれてしまうんだ。
Hmm.
お前やアルネイズさんのように
Man.
戦士と奴隷商人の境目は曖昧だ。でもノルドの男は戦争が良くないことだとは思っていない。ノルドの男の価値は武勇と富で決まる。より多くを殺し富を持ち帰った者ほど尊敬される。だから父親は息子に戦いを教え、武具を与えて軍船に乗せる。
So what does this mean? Like,
ずっと昔から当たり前にそうしてきた。
yeah, again, he's clearly gonna spread the word, but try to convince others. But in the name of what? You know?
ノルドの社会では臆病者は生きていけない。
Like, we saw him already listening on the whole Christian speech and everything, right? Or listening to...
いいんだ。これ以上彼らを背負うくらいな。
Was it Snake reading it from the book?
忘れの方がずっ
The
とマシだ。
Bible?
彼ら
So you wonder if he is actually converted and he's gonna try to spread that, sort of like Canute always figured that he would. Oh man.
彼らの霊が毎晩のように現れて俺を責めさいなむんだ。なぜ殺した？父を殺されあんなにも怒り。
Yeah.
お前がなぜ何人もの父を
Yeah.
息子を殺したんだって。
Giving it right back to them.
俺はこの人たちに償いをしなければいけない。この人たちが
Dude.
安らかに眠れるところへ連れて行ってあげなければ。
This is all visualized so
もう
fantastically.
以上は無理だ。ずっと考えてる。どうすれば彼らに報いられるのか。これ以上殺したり壊したりしないってだけじゃ償いとは言えない。今まで踏み潰してきた以上の麦を、この手で育てなくっちゃ。今まで燃やしてきた以上の家を、
Yeah.
この手で立て直さなくちゃ。世界全体から戦争をなくす方法は俺にはまだわからない。
But create more free people as well.
せめてこの世に一つくらい、
Yeah.
ほんの村一つくらいでもいいんだ。
More free people than whose freedom you took away.
剣を必要としない地を作りたい。
It does sound a little bit like, yeah, you just want to create a utopia that's going to be impossible to accomplish.
その地を
Yeah.
守るんだ。俺だって戦争は嫌いだ。けどバイキングはどんなところにもやってくる。
The problem is that even now, 1,000 years later, we know that war is still a reality, you know?
なきゃならない時もあるよ。
It's an inevitable...
でもそれじゃダメなんだ。
Yeah.
やっぱり夢みたいな話は夢みたいなままか。どこか地の果て、果ての果てにでも行かなきゃ。
海の彼方まで逃げ切ったら、そこには何があるのかしら。
Damn, that's a reminiscent line.
何もないわね。どこまで行ってもここと同じ。戦と奴隷商人がいるだけ。
Who is saying this? He's not remembering his sister, is he, or what?
遥かな西、海の向こう。どんな
Finland. Yeah, there we go.
どんな奴隷商人も知らない。水平線のずっと
God, it's been so long since we heard all this stuff. This episode brought back some memories for me, man.
そんな土地が。
ある。忘れていた。
Just like how I mentioned the music early on in the episode, the horns.
その話を聞かせてもらった。
Yeah. Oh, perfect timing, because he's about to be showing up.
その果てには
Luck's on your side.
土地が広がっていると。
Dude.
大地があるそうだ。
Yeah. Was it Leif who told the story in episode 1?
ならそこへ行けば。
いや、
Back when nobody wanted to believe him and stuff?
聞かされてたし、正確な場所もわからない。
そうか。いや、でもやっといい話を聞けたよ。
What? Oh. What's Fox doing here? Oh, they're just looking for Garda, of course. About to tell them that he escaped again. With honor, presumably.
逃げたんだ。ガルサルが逃げた。俺たちの物置小屋をひっくり返す理由が他にあるか。
Yeah, man, put two and two together.
あれね、いつだ。
You do wonder, like, where would Garda go next? Yeah, I keep saying it, this show takes its time. This episode very much took its time, but holy shit, was it fantastic. I don't think there is that much to say about it, in all honesty. It kind of felt like a nice recap of the show so far, and again, it brought back a lot of almost nostalgic elements to me when early on in the episode we heard the horns, that one specific theme that we would hear all the time play back when, you know, Thorfinn was still in Askeladd's army. So that was already fantastic, but then of course later on him sort of reminiscing and being reminded of the stories that he had heard about Vinland, right? Which again, if I recall correctly, I think Leif was the first person actually who brought up Vinland, right? Back in episode 1 when he told the stories and everything. And it's where I immediately didn't take him too seriously because the kids weren't doing it either, right? It's like, okay, yeah, this slave guy is just... he likes opposing a little bit too much and taking credit for a lot of things. But then we did hear later on that, like, nah, there was a lot of truth to what he shared, right? Because he shared the story about the other men and that they had to, like, literally survive on ice, you know, by eating a bunch of ice, and everybody around him died, I think, and stuff. And I started... You saw some real emotion in there, and I started to understand, like, oh shit, this guy's been through a lot more than I would, yeah, probably give him credit for at first. And so the whole Vinland story must be true as well, right? But yeah, again, as far as this episode goes, I mean, we basically start off with Arnheid convincing that one soldier guy to go and speak to Garda. The conversation there didn't even necessarily lead anywhere. She didn't even really get to catch him up on what was going on with her having a new kid soon. What happened to their actual kid, right? All that stuff. The interesting part was that Garda actually apologized to her and basically asked for, like, a second chance, or like, oh, let's do it all over again, and this time we do it right. But you could see in Arnheid's face that, like, she was very conflicted by it all, right? She, on one hand, I mean, she did want to sort of give him a second chance, and she was willing to forgive him, because Arnheid is not the kind of person that really holds things against others, I think. She's a very loving, caring person, right? And so she appreciated that on one hand. On the other hand, she was thinking about a new, soon-to-be-born son now. And, like, she just didn't see a future with Godar anymore, obviously, right? She didn't tell him that yet, but it's clearly what she was thinking. And so she was never there willing to consider that, I think. But still, the whole thing left her very conflicted. Up until the point where Godar, of course, attacks the god, they actually literally, escape. He takes Arnheid with him, presumably. And now the question is, yeah, like, what's gonna happen, right? Did he take Arnheid with him by force, or did Arnheid go with him voluntarily? What exactly happened there is still a big question on my mind. The second half of this episode, obviously, I feel like that really comprised of the recap, as I'd call it, where Thorfinn just goes over, like, okay, what do I actually want to achieve, right? And he sort of elaborates and expands on that whole idea of getting rid of war and slavery, whatever that means. Where he's basically saying, like, my goal in life is to try and build more houses than I've destroyed, free more people than whose freedom I've taken away. And it makes a lot of sense, right? And that's a way to atone. Simply refraining from it now isn't a way to atone, because you'd still be, you'd still have a negative KD, or a positive one, I guess. Putting it like that, which sounds a little ridiculous and out of place, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like, he's killed so many people. You can't just stop and then just feel okay with that. It makes a lot of sense that now he wants to give people back what he took away from others. And yeah, like, I still wonder, it's what I kind of speculated about, right? It feels like you need to do that in the name of something. He's saying that the Norse mindset isn't a good one, that these people have. And I get that, but I feel like it's impossible to really just tell them, oh, the mindset that you have is wrong. You also need to offer something in exchange, right? And we saw that literally already happen last season through the monk and also through Canute, where they talked about Christianity and everything, right? And we saw it in this season now too, where Thorfinn started listening in on those speeches, or those verses from the Bible and stuff, right? So I really wonder, like, is he gonna take the Bible here as well to try and spread the word about Christianity? Is that how he's gonna try and achieve it, or is the message just gonna be the message that he has and that's it? Is it gonna be his own message? Is definitely something that's still on my mind. But yeah, guys, for now, this was once again a great episode of Vinland Saga. The question is, where do we go from here? Not a lot of progression necessarily made at all in this episode, which, once again, I love it. Like, this show just genuinely, I've been saying it from the start of this season. Of course, I already said it back in season 1, but it is relentless in taking its time, and it does not care. And that's great, because I'm not in a hurry myself either, don't get me wrong. It's just that you know, having to record reviews and stuff, I do find myself sometimes questioning, like, what can I actually say about this episode? Because there's not that much to say, you know what I mean? Like, it's fantastic to watch, but yeah, again, that can sometimes be a challenging thing. Nonetheless, I think, I mean, I talked there for 6 minutes, so that's plenty. I hope you all enjoyed my thoughts, my review on Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 15. Of course, if you did, guys, you can already watch the next 4 episodes straight away over on my Patreon page, which is going to be linked on top of the description. Over there, we'll already be on episode 19. We're watching the episodes as they air, so go and catch up on all of it straight away, as I'm trying to get out of my words here. But with that being said, I want to thank you all a lot for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I look forward to seeing you back in the next episode.